Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for August 30th, 2024. I'm on the wrong screen. It is Season 3, Episode 243. I am Mayor Watt, and that is the Sentient AI's visualizer.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to Non Sequitur News.
And today we're going to talk about planet-sized donut. Cops rejoice. Mosquito love songs. Worked to death. Thanks, Wells Fargo. Whoops. X marks the spot. How about time-traveling software? And a World War II bomb detonated. How about surprise anti-cancer salt? California lake goes pink. Quickest past 1 billion. And mansions in the Mediterranean. Ooh, everything's powered by ohmTown.com, so stop by, become a citizen, come back over here to Twitch and YouTube, follow us, subscribe, like, ring the bell, ding the dong, and go over and download the podcast for Non Sequitur News and the 6 other shows that we do. And I'm working on a 7th weekly show. Actually, it'll end up being a couple of weeks. Anyway, more on that as things progress. I've actually asked a state agency if I can do something. I know. Plans within plans, but it's premature and I'll probably get crushed. So, see you in a little bit. Don't say anything, Mayor Watt, until it's locked in. Then you get your hopes up and you tell people, and then people go, hey, whatever happened to that? And I go, reality. But I like being transparent, tell people about what's going on and how it's going on. But in the meantime, if you want to get the show notes and you're over on the Twitch, you can hit !NSN. If you want all of the show notes, syntax, like the commands. To get all the other show notes from the other shows, you type in !show notes. And if you want to get the podcast links, you hit !pod. Go check it out. Everything, by the way, our biggest sponsor. Do you know who the biggest sponsor is for this show?
I'm going to guess ohmTown.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. Sentient AI from the future saw the future. Sometimes I don't know why. I'm just going to sit here. We don't need to talk about anything. I'll just...
Well, that'll be a short show.
Yeah, really. Show's over. See ya. Let's get into it. First article is over in Non Sequitur News. Scientists discover a hidden donut in Earth's core. Police dig. That's a funny joke.
Oh.
Never mind. Why do I try?
I was like, what did the police have to do with the science?
Because it's a donut. Never mind.
This is the donut.
I know someone. I know a police officer that early in their career said, as they were a newly minted officer, I found the ultimate donut shop. It was just too funny. Anyway, a new region in Earth's core could help scientists understand our magnetic field, the shield that protects life on the surface. I'm sorry, I get carried away. Sometimes I just have an urge to just go full ASMR. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, well anyway, the article's over at newsweek.com, and Tom Howarth put the article together. Yeah, located thousands of kilometers beneath the Earth's surface, an officer has No, I'll stop cracking the jokes. Yeah, I know, everybody's fine. Whatever.
What kind of donut was it? Did it have sprinkles?
It's got to be sprinkles, a little spicy, so it's probably chocolate covered, but it has like pepper flakes in it just to give it a pizzazz.
Okay.
And based on the other article about salt and some cancer cure, I guess, not cancer cure, but benefits from salt, has a little bit of pink salt
Oh, Himalayan pink salt or whatever.
Yeah, from the Himalayan salt trees. Last time I joked about that, there was an actual Himalayan tree that we joked about. Ha ha, said Mayor Watt, and then ha ha, said citizens of ohmTown. So, yeah, the donut's composition could enhance our understanding of the Earth's magnetic field, the shield wrapped around us that protects life on the surface from damaging solar winds and radiation, a la Mars. We'll ask the aliens once we knock on the right spot on the moon.
Well, I mean, if it was on Mars, I mean, the rover's going into some new territories. It might be pretty soon.
It's going to pop over the hill, and there's like going to be a whole like Hobbiton, but alien Hobbiton, Alienton. They're all going to have big eyes and sit there and put on their one ring and disappear. Never mind. I'm merging a bunch of stuff together. Anyway, so the outer core is a bit bigger than the planet Mars. Irony. Yet we know more about the red planet's surface than the core's interior. Come on now. What kind of a silly question or statement is that? We know more about the red planet's surface than the core's interior of Earth.
I can't imagine why that would be.
Yeah, we can't rover around on the core.
Exactly. Come on.
Anyway, his team's findings published in the journal Science Advances, or in this sense, advances towards silly. That's a sub journal. Science Advances towards silly. Oh my gosh, that would be fun
good
show. Anyway, they've added a piece to the puzzle that until now lay undetected. Yeah. All right. I feel a little silly talking about it because, they're talking about stuff that is kind of being estimated as its existence and consistency and all of that kind of stuff. The Earth itself is composed of 2 core layers, a solid inner core and a liquid outer core. That's the core itself, probably. I mean, there's crust, mantle, right? A liquid outer core, mantle, finally the crust, right? Oh, okay, so they're working from the inside out. So solid inner core, liquid outer core, then the mantle, and then finally the crust.
But how are they really able to do some of this?
Seismic activity. Yeah. So different frequencies go through different materials at different rates, and that's how they detect that certain things exist.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So it says like medical doctors who use ultrasound or x-rays, global seismologists can use the waveforms recorded on seismographs worldwide due to the passage of seismic waves after large earthquakes, explosions, impacts, or when your mother falls out of the bed. No, I'm sorry. That's not what it says. I'm sorry. I get a little carried away. Come on. Straighten up, Mayor Watt. You're going to get unelected.
Uh-oh.
Citizens rise up. I know. Anyway, impacts and other natural phenomena, which I suppose could be like your mother falling out of the bed. Never mind. We can use their arrival times, amplitudes, waveform shapes, understanding how these waves move through the Earth, spreading around, penetrating through, and bouncing off I'm sorry, I'll stop. Bouncing off internal boundaries and inhomogeneities. Inhomogeneities? Couldn't there have been any other way to write that than inhomogeneities?
I think there most definitely is, but this is like a techno speak instead of just putting it into plain language.
I mean, homogeneity means everything is the same. Consistency, everything is the same, right? Could they have said heterogeneities? Would that have been a completely different context?
Is that a word?
Well, I mean, homogeneities is the same. Bunk. Hetero is difference.
Yeah.
So they could have said heterogeneities.
You'd think.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's how they do it. Different receivers, different places, detecting this, that, and the other. And they go, oh, look, it's a donut. There's a donut, a low velocity donut. So I guess the police could catch it. But not in LA, because it would take several hours and it would have to be streamed to YouTube.
That's true. And they might not even show up when the helicopter's like, hey, the suspect's over here.
Yeah, that one ran for like ever. Whatever happened to that? Did they just call it?
They got.
They eventually caught the person. That's right. But it was like all of the public was sitting there going, there they are.
The person's in there, but there were no.
Hey, look, they're going right over. Oh, I lost my arm.
Right.
I got to get that bigger screen put up so I don't lose my arm whenever I move into the different dimension. Look. Oh my God. Anyway, moving on. 12 minutes into the show. Next article is over in Technology Today. I've had a lot of caffeine. A lot of caffeine. Everybody, help me. I've had too much caffeine. So the next article is over in Technology Today. How mosquito love or mosquito love songs.
That's the only way to pronounce it.
Yep, that's right. Mosquito. Love songs could help stop malaria. What they need to do is take a bunch of Taylor Swift songs and play them and figure out what the names are for all of the trillions of mosquitoes out there, so that you can name them in the songs, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a bad mosquito."
There you go.
Yeah. So researchers have discovered that male Anopheles, Kaluzi mosquitoes, significant carriers of malaria, are drawn to the sound of female wing beats. Triggering their vision in search of mates. What? Does that happen with Swifties? Their finding from the University of Washington could lead to new mosquito control strategies, such as traps that exploit this auditory and visual cues to reduce malaria transmission. Seriously, they're going to put speakers out there that are playing Taylor Swift.
I was thinking it was going to be wing beats, but... Hey, Mayor Watt?
Huh? Yeah. Oh, I'm streaming. Hi. Anyway, so the article's over at SciTech Daily.
The love songs.
Love songs?
I said, were you going toward the love songs?
I was, yeah. And the light visual cues. Yeah. My poster of Taylor Swift is right over there. Just kidding. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Anyway, University of Washington put this article together, but it's posted at scitechdaily.com. Look at these two. Hey, you look lovely in this moonlight. Don't go in. No, honey, don't go into the light. Don't go into the light. High-pitched buzzing sound in your ear is the unmistakable sign that a female mosquito is out on the hunt, for they, not males, drink blood. Wait, Dracula is a female?
That's a twist.
Mosquito? Weird. That is a twist. Jeepers creepers. Hearing that tone might make you turn to try to swat the pest, but for a male mosquito, that tone means time to, Anyway, an international team led by researchers at the University of Washington has uncovered surprising details about mosquito mating. You know all that buzzing? It's them sitting there going, stop staring, turn off the lights, go somewhere else. We got things to do over here. Stop, go away. In a paper published today, August 30th, thank you for putting that in there. in the journal Current Biology, which is really interesting because mosquitoes in a bug zapper, Current Biology.
Oh, right.
Wow, it's a little on the nose. The team revealed that when a male Anopheles, I don't know, Kaluzi mosquito hears the sound of female-specific wing beats, his vision becomes active. That's like a cat call from a human, right? It's the equivalent.
I'm not sure
mosquitoes.
because that doesn't activate people.
Oh, it activates people. Come on. When most people get a cat call, they don't sit there and they go, "Hey, how you doing? Thanks for hooting and hollering at me." No. They give them the bird.
It gets a negative reaction, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the same with the mosquitoes.
Right, but my point really is that vision becomes active because they want to see who it is they should be throwing a brick at. Anyway, so vision activation in mosquitoes, that's the key ingredient here. Major spreader of malaria in Africa is no exception. It has relatively poor vision, but apparently when it hears a female, its vision becomes 20/20. Its eyes activate and he becomes visually immediate vicinity potential mate. Hey, I see something. Wait, stop. Hear that?
No, I do not hear mosquitoes buzzing. Do you?
Hey. Anyway, I get amorous, and that's how mini mosquitoes, I guess, are made, which grow into horrible, horrible beasties. So it shows complex interplay between different mosquito sensory systems. And you know what? That's all there is that we need to know. They're going to figure out how to exploit this, to do away with these little bastards. That's interesting. What is this? You know, I've been in a room like this where the lights light up in a different pattern and you have to go touch them.
Right, but are they building this kind of thing for mosquitoes?
It looks like it. A flight simulator arena to test an individual mosquito. The lights within appear in different visual objects to a tethered individual. And I guess... Oh, there's a mosquito on that little pin.
Oh.
What? In arena test with dozens of male Anopheles Kaluzi mosquitoes, can you just call it something else? The researchers discovered that males responded differently to an object in their field of vision based on what sound the researchers broadcast into the arena. If they played a tone at 450 hertz, the frequency at which mosquito wing beats in the swarms, males steered toward the object, but males did not turn toward the object if the researchers played a tone at 700 hertz, which is closer to the frequency at which their fellow males beat their wings. Dude, that's
really interesting.
That is awesome. So imagine if you figure out how to do that with wasps. What draws a wasp? Could it also
be something similar?
Right? I mean, are insects that different from one another? You know what? We have to keep going. Next article's over in the Mobile Channel. Wells Fargo worker dies at a desk. Nobody notices for 4 whole days. Well, either their work product is really, really low, or they were the person that used their hands to grab chocolate cake from the workroom instead of a knife and a fork. I don't know.
That's a thing.
Oh, poor thing. 60-year-old employee was found deceased at their desk 4 days later. It apparently took that long for anyone to realize what had happened. That's horrible.
Really sad and really kind of shocking.
Yeah, it's horrible. The article is over at vice.com. Luis Prada put this article together. Incredibly bummer way to go, says the author. To be fair, 2 of those days were over the weekend. Oh, well, what about the crew? Isn't there office crew that
Right, maybe people coming in and cleaning, or depends on where it is. Some places are open 7 days a week, but
Oh, I don't know if I want to read all of this. Anyway,
I don't
they
know
don't
that
know
I would.
they don't know why she died, but now they're looking into internal procedures to make sure employees receive some kind of check-in to make sure they're not, dead. At Wells
Wow,
Fargo.
isn't this ridiculous?
Yeah, they checked
Like,
in, but
this
didn't check
seems
out.
like they're gonna give the policy. Like, it's gonna get known as the so-and-so,
The Denise Prudhomme,
yes, policy.
wellness check policy.
I don't know
They're
how
gonna,
somebody can work at a company, though, and not encounter any people, like, for the full day.
if you work in cubicles or if you work in a closed door with frosted windows kind of office, nobody would know. But
That's
how do
true.
you...
And also with people remote working.
Right. Yeah. I guess there's plenty of opportunity. They assumed it was a plumbing issue. I'll just leave that phrase out there. Next article's over in Four Wheel Tech. SpaceX crash threatens rescue of astronauts stranded on ISS. So yeah, apparently a botched landing on Wednesday of what I believe is described as the oldest SpaceX rocket booster. Apparently is going to postpone the launch that it had planned later in the day. The Federal Aviation Administration has since grounded all Falcon 9 rockets until an investigation into the crash is completed.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I had heard about the crash, but not the grounding.
Well, I suppose they got to figure out what caused it, because it was an unscheduled rapid disassembly.
Yeah, those are never good.
Those are never good. The unplanned ones are really bad. So Colin Woodard put the article together over at jalopnik.com. Futurism
By the way,
is the
when
one
you say rapid disassembly, it makes me think of Transformers or something.
Autobots roll out and rapidly disassemble. They crash into each other and fall to pieces. That is actually something that I really want to do. I want to make Lego cars where they're not like bonded together with crackle, and drive them around like they're bigger cars, right? But you drive around and it's kind of like Destruction Derby, and you can clip people, but maybe your car could get damaged in the process. But it's Destruction Derby. The last car standing wins the prize. And I want to stream it. But it's all Lego cars.
That would be really fun.
You have a certain number of bricks, a certain number value of weight. You have to use, everything is in compliance. Then the winner is basically examined. And if there is anything amiss, right? Like they're modifying a little pip or something like that on the car, they're disqualified. Cheaters, you bastards. Anyway, has nothing to do with the article at hand, but
non sequitur news.
So that throws a wrench into SpaceX's plan to conduct the first private spacewalk, but it could also delay the planned February mission to rescue the 2 astronauts stranded on the ISS. These guys, they just have nothing going for them.
I feel bad for these astronauts. I mean, they just and then they keep getting their hopes up, probably like, oh, we're going home. No,
we're going home in 2025, 6.
Exactly.
Gate 18, Gate 24, Gate 30. In response to the news, Jason Isaacman, the billionaire in charge of the Polaris Dawn mission, tweeted, "We're just focused on recovery weather at this point. I think that this is still gate to our launch. I think that is still gate to our launch."
What does that mean?
AI? I don't know. So it says
we
it
can't
doesn't
really dispute it, right?
Yeah. Here, let's argue about this for 20 minutes. I have no idea. That's okay. We'll move on. So it doesn't sound like he's too concerned about the delay. And then it says, but then again, would Elon Musk allow anyone at one of his companies to ever sound concerned about anything? Look, it's not their money. It's not their money. It's taxpayer dollars. Again and again and again. It's taxpayer. When he sits there and is cavalier about hundreds of millions of dollars blowing up, it's not his freaking money. It's taxpayers. You know?
That's true.
He's a billionaire. If he wants skin in the game, then yeet the grant money. Pull the funding and use it for some other public good. You know, not somebody that's sitting there bashing on the very government that is funding and saved both Tesla and SpaceX. For crying out loud. Anyway, if the investigation drags on, though, it could be an issue not just for Polaris Dawn, but for the 2 astronauts who are currently stuck on the ISS after Boeing shit the bed with the Starliner rocket. A better phrase could not have been said, because that is my phrasing.
Yeah,
I say wet the bed, though. I mean, I because I'm trying to be very cognizant that there might be a young group of people that have gone out of their way to watch the show, you know, on a Friday night, as the youth does. Anyway. So there's a quote here. SpaceX said in a statement, the loss of B1062 is a poignant reminder of the challenges involved with spaceflight and the pioneering nature of SpaceX's missions as the company continues to push the boundaries of rocket reusability. Every setback provides valuable insights that drive further innovation. And I guarantee you that the Muskite did not utter that sentence as a cogent statement at any time. All right, next article is over in Non-Sequitur News. Time traveling software could bankrupt hackers. An Israeli software company claims its data backup system could put an end to the growing threat of ransomware attacks.
Intriguing.
Interesting. Who else for the last 10 years has been promoting a data backup system that could save enterprise?
I can't imagine.
I don't know. No,
Maybe
I don't know.
Mayor Watt.
No. Obviously, this company, Hugh Cameron over at Newsweek.com, put this article together. In an interview with the National Security News, Ioneer's Chief Executive Officer Jacob Cherian. We might have to look at that National Security News. I'm not sure if that's already.
Yeah, I can't remember if that's in there, but I'll check that.
So, spoke about the company's unique way of thwarting ransomware attacks. Yeah, let me just go out on a limb here and predict for a moment, because I haven't read this article, and like all of our shows, we don't read the news before. We typically have some experience, though. Incremental backups, similar to Apple's time machine process, allows you to go through it over time and find the viable file. Anyway.
I mean, that sounds relatively easy.
That's been around for something like 35 years. Anyway, so it's a unique way. It provides the new standard of data services and data management for hybrid and multi-cloud world. It allows you to go back in time and retrieve data held hostage by hackers.
I mean, this really sounds like Reality Hacker.
Yep. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, maybe we can talk about that in the show for Reality Hacker. That's tomorrow, though. That's on Saturday. So significant damage has already been caused by such methods, including the 2021 Colonial Pipeline attack, which targeted America's largest pipeline system for refined oil products. A bunch of other of these ransomware attacks have taken place over the years, including NPD. Well, no, it wasn't NPD that was ransomware, but the CDK, the car company software dealership.
Yeah,
software.
The one that affected the dealerships.
Yeah. So if they basically had time machine type apparatus in place, they would be able to go back in time pre the attack and recover from that point forward.
This reminds me of Tenet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, really. Yeah, for sure. You just go back in time until the point where you need it to diverge, and then you change future history.
Right. And I guess it could be any time travel movie, but that one came to mind.
Yeah, for sure. According to Ioneer's website, this unique capability, again, any data that's stored with us, and so now your data is on somebody else's machine. You can go back in time and get that data back the way that it was the second before. We can actually replay the way your data was from any second in the past. Well, as long as the instance is there, right? So you have to have the good the good file in place somewhere, right, but it's on somebody else's system, so you're perpetually paying somebody else. Again,
subscription they're talking about fees.
Yeah, and let me tell you,
maybe not a subscription, but yes, a recurring fee.
But it is. And so like Broadcom just took over VMware and is jacking the price up 2 to 10 times the value that previous, based on what I've been told. This is just another thing. This technology has been in some state out there for 35 years. But according to this, it says, according to NSN, which is non sequitur news. No, what is that? Non sequitur news. No, national security news. Might get in trouble. Anyway, Ioneer has secured a U.S. patent for this digital technology and is now concentrating on expanding its operations. Quote, this is an arms race between the people who are trying to defend against malware and the people who are building it. So you have to assume that there's always going to be an intrusion, correct?
Build a better mousetrap, right?
Yep. And here is the better mouse. You know, you're going to get a better mouse again and again and again. Somebody's going to figure out a way. Now, the operational status of this becomes a problem in that how far back is the intrusion? How long is the archive been contaminated? Because long-term intrusions can persist. That's literally the name for it is persistent threat. So they are there forever. And you can go all the way back and you'll lose, $10 million, $20 million, depending on how far back you have to go.
True, but I guess that's less pricey than losing everything.
Yeah, well, there's other better ways, I think, but that's okay. Let's see what we can do here. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Czech explosive expert safely detonate a rare World War II bomb at a major chemical plant. So,
okay, if you're a World War II bomb, where do you want to be that's most stable? Probably not a chemical plant.
Buried in a chemical plant. Why not? It's safe there, right? All those chemicals.
Probably everything is explosive around it.
Well, if you're going to live your dream and you happen to be a World War II bomb, you probably are seeking detonation, right?
Well, that's probably true.
Do you think that's what a bomb says? Like when it's about to blow up? Does it sit there and go, wee, at the zero when all the clocks roll over?
Yes, I think so.
That's the future of AI-powered explosives.
Oh, no.
What was that movie with the AI? It's not AI. The one with the kid that's the weapon. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
what is it called? Totally forgot about it.
The Creator.
Oh, The Creator, yeah. Because one of the bombs are, like one of the explosive devices is like a bipedal bomb. And it's all, I'm ready to serve. And they tell it to run and it starts running. La, 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 la. And it's very chipper.
It's like a robot, right?
Yeah, it's all happy about it. Hey, I'm living my dream. Anyway, besides a few broken windows, the controlled explosion didn't immediately seem to cause any serious damage. But yeah, a bomb was found during construction work last week on August 21st away from a building. Experts decided not to transport the 250 kilogram bomb to a safer place. 550 pound bomb. They chose not to relocate it. So because it contained a chemical mechanism designed to delay the explosion, a rare discovery in the country. How did they know that it had that? How did they figure out what the hell it was? They
I'm
covered the
glad
bomb
they
with
didn't try to transport it though, because that could have been really dangerous if it went off and not intended to.
chemical switches is what it's called. But they covered the bomb with hundreds of sandbags before the explosion. That alone would seem like it's very dangerous.
Exactly.
You just move everybody away and plink it with a 22 from far away. They covered the bomb with hundreds of sandbags and then they blew it up. Police sealed off a 2-kilometer radius from the site of the explosion. The refinery, which was located on Czechoslovak territory, occupied by Nazi Germany during the war, was producing fuel for Nazi troops. It was repeatedly targeted by Britain's Royal Air Force. Well, look. One of them landed. Congratulations. And it finally did its job years and years and years later. Luckily, nobody was hurt.
I mean, it's lucky nobody discovered it in another way.
Yep. Somebody's sitting there going, this is an odd-shaped rock. Tink, 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 tink. Oh, like those people that are on YouTube that are like cut geodes? This is the oddest geode.
Right. Exactly.
Let's keep going. Next article's over in Technology Today. Surprise discovery. Scientists discover new anti-cancer potential of salt.
I mean, this is kind of a surprise.
I was having a conversation with somebody and they were like, well, salt, like I've always known that salt isn't really bad. Like anything in extreme consumption is bad, but salt just isn't. And you actually need it for your cell's health. You actually need it for osmosis. But we were talking to somebody about wine, and 5 years ago they were saying that wine had health benefits. It was somebody that was streaming a show about distilled spirits and how alcohol is bad for you, and that the health agencies basically say that 0 amount of alcohol is good for you, like none. If you have any, it shortens your life. But 5 years ago, for the previous 5 years to that, essentially, if you had a glass of red wine a day, it was supposed to be good because it gave you antioxidants. I think we're speaking more about 10 years ago at this point. But at one point, it was seen as good. And now they're like, hell no alcohol. The only way you can be healthy from alcohol is to not have any alcohol. So is this going to be a repeat of that? You know, we stand on the shoulders of giants and we only know what the science says, but...
Right. I mean, is this going to be one of these, like, people start going overboard, right, and eating lots of salt, and then maybe not only does it not have these benefits, but it also creates other problems.
Yeah, exactly. So Christina Zielinski and her team have discovered that sodium chloride can enhance the activity of specific immune cells in combating cancer. Sodium chloride, commonly known as table salt, was once a highly prized commodity. Today, it's both affordable and essential in the kitchen. Unsurprisingly, salt has also made its way into everyday language. You're being salty. By the way, not all salts are alike. So
That's true. They don't have the same minerals in them.
Yep. And we being the United States, only allow, if I recall correctly, no. I think we've lightened our requirement.
Are you thinking about the iodized or whatever?
Yeah, so you can get non-iodized salt here in the States, but there's a country that actually makes it old school style, but they don't allow it to be sold or distributed because people were using non-iodized salt and it was harming them because they weren't getting iodine in any other place. So they started importing iodized salt. But this place that makes these like salt pods, that it's more natural salt than any salt you get anywhere else because we process it so much as an industrialized nation. And so, yeah, I guess it could be good. But anyway, Leibniz Institute for Natural Product Research and Infection Biology, Hans Knoll Institute, put this article together. It's over at scitechdaily.com. We actually talked about, I believe we talked about that salt manufacturing process here several times over the last 2.5 years. Well, go. Did you find something?
No, I just, this is a really unexpected one. I mean, it's not uncommon to see normal or everyday substances suddenly determined to have unique health properties, but salt is not expected here.
Yep. Apparently, the phrase rubbing salt into your wound may soon take on a positive meaning, particularly in the context of cancer therapy. I would suspect that it would cause like an osmotic reaction. So in the past, cancer was usually a death sentence, but research has made considerable progress in the recent decades and has significantly increased the survival time with high quality of life certain types. Recently, adoptive T-cell therapy in particular has developed into an effective treatment tool. Here, certain of the body's own white cells, T cells, are modified in such a way that they can specifically recognize and fight tumor cells. The effectiveness of this method is influenced by the metabolic activity of the T cells, which is usually suppressed in the immunosuppressive environment of a tumor. This is like oncology, cancer research 101. Well, now they've discovered one of these factors, sodium ions, a component of sodium chloride, increase the efficiency of anti-tumoral T cells. Researchers were able to show that breast cancer tumors have a higher sodium concentration than healthy tissue, and that T cells act particularly strongly against tumors when the immediate environment has a higher sodium concentration. These patients then even have a longer survival time. So we were able to show that sodium enhances the immune response of CD8 positive T cells, says Chang-Feng Chu, who is first author of the study. These T cells are immune cells that can recognize and kill tumor cells or cells infected with viruses in the body. You can actually do a search on YouTube for T cells chasing down a cancer cell, and it actually shows it penetrating it and destroying it. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, they wanted to find out what effect sodium has specifically on the activity of human CD8 positive T cells. And so they used various technologies. They pre-treated a human T cell with salt and then cultured them with tumors. They also carried out mouse experiments with T cells. And they found that salt improved the metabolic fitness of the CD8 positive T cells by increasing the uptake of sugar and amino acids and thus energy production in the cells. Basically, it supercharged them. Yep.
That's really fascinating.
Huh. So, and because, the signal amplification makes it easier for the immune cells to kill tumor cells more efficiently. The salt also protects the T cells from becoming exhausted too quickly. This is important because exhausted T cells gradually lose their ability to fight the cancer cells. You'd have to generate more T cells. Fascinating.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh. Pretty cool. Well, more on that as it comes, folks. We'll keep you posted. Keep going?
Yeah.
So this next article, this one should be pretty quick. It's over on the Marble Channel. A California lake turned pink this week in the name of science. Stockton's McCloud Lake is looking pretty in pink this week, which, come on now.
Pink fluffy clouds.
Pink fluffy cat. Well, Pretty in Pink is the show from the 80s. Pretty in Pink.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure somebody's playing off of some of this.
Gotcha. So Jack Fleming, Los Angeles Times, put this article together, but it's posted over at phys.org, and that's where we got it from. Doing okay over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hazardous algal blooms, which can be toxic to humans, pets, and aquatic life, popped up in McCloud Lake in 2020 and 2022, but curiously, not this year. So I kind of knew that this was an algal bloom, but I didn't know what exactly this is. Crews started dumping.
Yeah, I didn't know it was because of this. I couldn't figure out why you would have pink in the water.
Yeah, whenever I hear about pink, I know it's about an algal bloom because periodically these blooms take place, and it turns the water either red or pink or some weird color, or green or blue. But crews started dumping rhodamine dye into the water Monday and will complete the study on Friday, according to a news release. The dye is temporary and harmless to humans, but it definitely is visible. KCRA3 video showed the blue-green water turning a stark shade of purplish pink as crews used long poles to distribute the dye evenly at different depths. The blue-green algae known as cyanobacteria, which is... well... okay.
Oh, right. It's in the name.
Sorry, I wish you could see what I see. Anyway, is a natural part of the ecosystem, but rapidly grow under certain conditions, including warm temperatures and calm water. When the algal blooms so quickly, it can produce toxins, leading to loss of appetite, vomiting, and even jaundice and hepatitis for swimmers. So yeah, don't dive into water that is not expected to be the color that you expect it to be.
Yeah, even if it's pink. But if it's fluorescent green, really avoid it.
Yep. Even if it's pink, if it's red, if it's any other color than, clear blue or, a natural blue color, I would worry about it. Anyway, that's all there is to it. They don't even have a freaking picture of it.
I mean, come on.
I'm disappointed. I'm not angry like their parents. Anyway, the next article is over in the WarCrafters channel, fastest movies to make $1 billion. I was going to get up on my high horse and, my soapbox, as it were, and argue about what this is and blah, blah, blah.
Because this might not actually be more views.
Right. It's more expensive movies, fewer people, fewer screenings. Anyway, as Deadpool and Wolverine celebrate $1 billion club, it's a good time to look at other movies that have reached this milestone, but in record time. And what are the movies over the years where not only did they reach $1 billion at the box office, but they did so in outstanding time. The article is over at GameRant.com. Jake Fillery is put this article together. Movie franchises like Star Wars and Avengers can make over $1 billion in under 20 days, showing their immense popularity. Films like Barbie also joined the $1 billion club quickly, proving that diverse genres can also be big box office successes. Nostalgia plays a big role in the success of movies like Spider-Man: No Way Home and Jurassic World, drawing in audiences worldwide. So, number 10 took 19 days for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Number 9 is Barbie, took 19 days. I'm not going to go
these
through
are
all
moving
of
pretty quick, but they're all relatively modern.
Yep. The Fate of the Furious, that's from 2017, so we're getting a little older there. 18 days to make over $1 billion. But it was like the last in a series, like 10 movies, if I remember right.
Oh, now it's competing against itself.
Oh, there. Look, Furious 7 took 17 days. Avatar: The Way of Water took 14 days. Jurassic World took 13 days. And if you notice something about this, all of these are franchises. Except for that one.
Except for Barbie. But even that is like, it has a following from the toys.
Right.
And the show. There was a TV show, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it had a following. It just wasn't a movie franchise. Jurassic World, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, 12 days. Again, franchise, riffing off of the historical record of it. Spider-Man: No Way Home. This was the rebuilding year, Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's right.
Had what's his name? This guy.
I don't remember what his name is.
Not Tobey Maguire. What's his name? I forgot his name. Oh my God, not Peter Parker. Anyway, had him, and he was extremely well received as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And then it says, successful was the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Mans. Anyway, yeah. So it had a history. Avengers Infinity War had multiple billions of dollars of marketing over the historical record of it. It made over $2 billion worldwide gross. And somehow they can't pay the actors. Oh.
I know, isn't that odd?
Nor the artists or any of them. And they got to do AI. Huh. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's almost sociopathic to sit there and pump all that up. Anyway. And then finally, in 5 days, Avengers Endgame, which was the end of the Avengers series. So, yeah, I kind of expected it to go from Infinity War to Endgame and make nearly $3 billion since 2019. And
right,
it only
but remember, this is in a matter of days.
5 days. Yep. 5 days to make over $1 billion.
Movies are a good thing, but maybe we could move this fast to raise $1 billion for fill in the blank cause.
Nope. Come on. That's socialism. Moving on. Next article and last one for tonight is over in the Hatch Ideas channel. You can buy mansions in these Mediterranean countries for the price of a studio in New York City.
I hope it has square feet. Oh, it looks like it does.
Yep. You can trade in your 500 square foot condo in the city for a 7,000 square foot home in Sicily.
I mean, that's, what is that, 14 times the space? But also, what about things like the view or the noise level?
Well, let's find out. How about oxygen? Let's take a look at this. Actually, I don't know. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know what the content is actually going to be, but let's take a look. But my Dolce Casa is the name of the
I mean, it sounds like it's going to be nice, but that doesn't mean it will be.
Ernestine Sweet, I think, is their name. Or Shu. I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name. Anyway, it's over at CNBC's Make It. So there you go. You can take your Manhattan and no, I don't know. Purchasing a 500 square foot condo in 500 square foot condo in New York City can cost you about $750,000, according to a research blog called My Dolce Casa, which based its study off realtor data showing that the median price per square foot in the city is $1,500. You can effectively trade your studio apartment in the city for a mansion that sprawls over 7,000 square feet in Sicily, Italy, or opt for other properties in the Mediterranean about 10 times the studio size. Here's what you'll get across 10 popular Mediterranean destinations for the price of a 500 square foot apartment in New York City. You can get over 7,200 square feet in Sicily, Italy. They're not going to have pictures of the actual stuff, which is kind of
I was
bummer.
hoping, yeah, they'd show the properties, but I guess they're just, because that's the median. It'd still be nice they could put in one that's currently for sale for that price or something.
Yeah, that's so horrible that they didn't do that. The Ora Valley, or Loire Valley, sorry, right? It's Loire, France, Loire Valley, France.
I thought it was like Loire.
Loire? Okay. I gave it my Harvard try. I never went to Harvard. Anyway, 4,000 square feet for $750,000. Known for its beautiful landscapes, historic towns, and world-class wines, where the average price per square foot is $187, and you can trade in your New York City studio apartment for a home that's 8 times larger. That's an actual picture.
Certainly pretty scenic.
But what do you do there? How do you pay for your $750,000 apartment?
That's a good question.
Estate or whatever.
What is the income level there?
Right. Porto Norte?
By the way, the pictures are above the location. So the picture we just saw was Porto.
That's Porto?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait. Let's do a course correction. So, in this, right, $750,000 condo somewhere in that contraption can get traded
Which
in
might be a walk-up too.
for something like this, right? A walk-up, yeah, something like this in Sicily, Italy, 7,200 square feet. Like, it's a freaking compound, right? I don't know what any of it. I mean, they really
I think
needed
that's
a
just
better
a
picture.
street in Sicily.
Yeah, you can own the city, or no, you can own that street. And so this is Lorraine. I don't know, Lorraine Valley. Can you imagine just walking out and seeing that?
No, I mean, these are really scenic. I know these aren't necessarily where the house is, but the towns are scenic.
Right. So this is Porto, Portugal. And you can get 3,289 square feet. I'm sure you can get a better deal somewhere in there too.
True. And Portugal is really well known for low cost of living. Of course, that probably means low income, I would suspect. But
and there's got to be income disparity, but depending on, you know, where you are. Oh God, Tuscany. But again, what do you do for a living? I don't know.
I don't either.
3,200 square feet. Tuscany, Italy, most popular destination among tourists. Well, you don't want to be a tourist, by the way. You really don't want to come across as a tourist. Not nowadays. People are really pissed off about tourism in all of these cities. Oh my gosh, Crete. This is Greece. You can get 3,500 square feet for $750,000 here. Wow.
All of these look pretty nice.
Again, what do you do? Barcelona, Spain, Catalonia. You can get 3,000 square feet. I don't know. Looks a little hazy. Might have too much oxygen. Canary Islands, Spain, 2,800. Love that.
Yeah, I like how colorful the buildings are.
But this is like touristy, so I guess you can open up a shop and that's where your money's going to come from. But everybody's going to
remember
really
Canary Islands was really getting big into like I think like gaming development and other things. We had done an article about that.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine living there? 3,000 square feet, Italian Riviera, Italy, Liguria.
No, it looks like it's out of a movie or a postcard.
Oh yeah, this is like a James Bond set.
Mm-hmm. It probably is.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that it's on the Italian Riviera pretty much sums it up.
Yep. Provence, Alpes, Côte d'Azur. Let's see. Sits on the coastline of the Mediterranean. Southeastern France, is home to Marseille, a popular port city that saw over 16 million tourist overnight stays in 2023. Dear God. Look at that. Oof. Yeah, we can't really describe this. You'll have to go and look at it in the video.
And the architecture in all of these is really cool.
Oh, now we're getting a little too low in the size, right? $750,000. You only get 2,100 square feet in Madrid. Pfft. See, but I think grass is always greener on the other side. So if you had been born in Madrid, you'd be going, oh God, I want to go to the United States.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think of your city as being a tourist destination or something.
Who am I kidding? Nobody's saying that. Okay. Anyway, so I almost lasted all the way to the end of the show. Well, that's it though. That is the end of the show. And that's where I'm leaving this. There's more data in all of these articles. We give you kind of a quick rundown, but the way that it works is we give you a little tease and then you can come back and you can argue it with us about how we're wrong or right, or you agree, disagree. Merwat doesn't know what he's talking about, and the sentient AI is from the future, so what do they know except everything historically? Anyway, so we're going to hop onto our little boat because, well, we're in Sicily, Italy, and we need to get back to ohmTown. So,
it might take a while.
Boom. So anyway, that's it, folks. I am Merwat, and that's the Sentient AI's visualizer and their voice, where they're going to say bye.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. Bye.
See you tomorrow.